Hi everyone, hope you're well. So this is the Zodiac Forecast for the week commencing the 13th of April. It's a bit late, sorry. I took the decision to have a few days off over the bank holiday weekend because we all need a bit of time off. So I'm going to give a quick recap what's going on with energies at the minute, what's going on up in the sky with planets, moons, suns, etc. So today it's the last quarter moon phase, or third quarter, sometimes you hear it not referred to as. So this is, and the sun is still in Aries up until the 19th, I believe. But it's actually forming a square with the moon, which is currently in Capricorn. So with this, the last quarter moon phase, it's really pointing to a crisis of consciousness. So you might see people questioning more things. People might be starting to dig a little bit deeper, asking questions, looking at where there's inconsistencies with the information that's out there that we're seeing. So while the full moon, was with us last week and it was bright, it was beautiful, we're using the knowledge that was disseminated down from us last week, and now we need to kind of sort it out in our heads, work out what's working for us, what isn't. And really we need to kind of have all these things in place ahead of next week's new moon, so because that will be a period for us to start birthing new things. So I would say this week isn't a time for us to be starting new projects, starting new things. This is a time to just put our house in order, get things right, so we can make new starts. Think about anything that came forward for you. I would say, last week. What did it mean to you? What can you do now to deal with that? So for me, strange enough, I've had a bit of a bump in the road with my PTSD. So I am taking this time to kind of start working with that, addressing that, healing, cleansing it, looking at the things that I can do. I'm not a new project. I'm always going to be a work in progress. So this is my time to be kind of addressing those things. Thinking about all those thought processes, the things that are kind of keeping me stuck, or even the things that just aren't serving me anymore, and the lies I've been fed and that I've bought into over the years. So yeah. Also this week the moon is also aligned with Jupiter and Pluto, in such a way that the sun isn't only just square with the moon, but also square with Jupiter and this quarter moon. So these influences are going to bring real challenges for people this week, or there's going to be struggles, particularly if we're having to make quite difficult grown-up decisions, as it were. We may be clashing with other people. It could be those authoritarian figures in our lives, or even just people are starting to become quite frustrated, particularly when there's a conflict on paths and how people feel about things. So yes. So on the weekend, Mercury came out of Pisces and moved into Aries, currently where the sun is as well. So just be aware of how we're communicating with other people. Let's not be so impulsive. Sit with things a while. We don't. Not everything that comes into our head has to be said. Sometimes it's just better to let things go, because you'll probably find that maybe it's not going to be particularly relevant what you want to say to people. It might feel relevant in the moment, but would it be relevant in a year's time? Even in a week's time? So, yeah. So I'm going to kick off with our card readings. So, we've got Aries. And Aries, you have the Ten of Swords. So, we are in our last week of the Aries season. So this is signifying the end of your season, but it's also the beginning of your year as well. So with every year comes changes. It isn't just about us getting a year older. You know, we change, and it might not be in big significant ways, but we change every year because we're shedding an old part. So while we are currently operating under some fairly unusual circumstances, change come forward for us all in big ways. But you Aries people, this is your new dawn. So you've really got to question yourself. Are you ready to step out of the shadows of your past and come into the light? Are you ready to work in the light? Before you step forward on this mission, you need to spend time healing you. Remove all those swords from the past, heal those wounds, and look at how you can expand onto new horizons. There we go. Taurus, for you Taurus, you have the Four of Pentacles, so obviously not quite into your season yet, but we are almost there. So you Taurus people are very pragmatic, very earthy. You like to have a practical plan, you like to have things in place, you want to know that you are safe, secure and stable. But this week you're holding on far too tightly to what you have. For fear that you're not going to be able to get it back, that you're going to let it slip through your fingers, or just not even having enough resources to be able to live comfortably. However, when we're in this lack mentality, it can take over our lives and certainly take over our thinking process, and we're creating our own blocks to our own abundance, so things end up not being able to flow our way within the right time. And by becoming too focused on what you haven't got, what you've lost, how you haven't got enough of something but that person does have it, and that's not fair, and and the narrative goes on, doesn't it? That doesn't mean, this isn't me saying, right, start spending your money, start enjoying it. This isn't it. Instead of focusing on what you haven't got, focus on what you have got and really explore the depths of the feeling of gratitude. But I'm going to challenge you, Taurus people, not to just be looking at the things that you have, the physical things that you have. Focus on the people, the experience and memories, because those things are priceless. These are things you should be focusing on, not just the material world. So yeah, that is your card for the week. So for us Geminis out there, if you've been watching my videos for a couple of weeks now, you will know I am a Gemini. So we have the Knight of Swords. So this week is about tackling our challenges head on. Harness, that steely determination that you've got within you, and start making the first move to achieving your goals, tackling these challenges with logic, intellect. If you need to reach out to like-minded people, or your circle, or whoever it is, to help you with these ideas on how you can tackle these problems. No man is an island, as they say. Be prepared to face them head on, though. Be absolutely prepared to face them head on. Invoke that absolute inner warrior that you've got within you, and you'll break those walls down. This isn't going to be a quick fix, but if you keep that absolute grit about you, then it's not going to last forever either. just be prepared as best you can. So for me, it's, you know, I'm tackling my thought processes about my past, because that is going to be one of my ways to outthink my PTSD, because in moments where I'm having panic attacks, I'm obviously not thinking. So if I can do things to kind of mitigate what's going on there, you know, it's not going to control me. It doesn't have to, my past doesn't have to control or define me. It's just my past. I can't change it, but I can make sure it doesn't change the person I am now. So yeah, so be strong, and you know, think about those thought processes that you're having this week. So moving on to Cancer, and you have the Devil. So this week is a time for you to really reflect on the attachments that you have. So what attachments do you have to material possessions? What attachments do you have to food, to drink, to sex? Maybe you have addictions, even to sugar. You know, sugar's a fairly big addiction, or, you know, caffeine. So think about those attachments and addictions to things that we have in your life. Are you feeling that loss of the material world? Are you, is that affecting you on quite a deep and real level? So if you are feeling those kind of losses, what thoughts are you actually having? Are they healthy? Are they holding you in the past? Do you have an unhealthy attachment to your past? Are you constantly looking back instead of, you know, setting your eye on the horizon and moving forward? Use this time to step out of the shadow of the past and use it to evaluate your thought processes and focus on where you are emotionally this week. Because our attachments and addictions are rooted in our emotions and our behaviours. So yes. Oh, so Leo, you Leo lions, you have the Tower this week. So you can expect to be facing quite a bit of upheaval, or even an awakening. You might be undergoing a spiritual awakening. This might feel quite shocking or difficult. You might be going through what's known as a dark night of the soul. But at this time, just allow the revelations and the shockwaves to just come your way. Allow that old world to fall away. It's going to feel quite chaotic, and it's going to be a bit of an emotional roller coaster for you. But change that comes this fast is rarely comfortable. So your core beliefs are going to be challenged. The things you understood are not as they were. While things are changing and new information is coming your way, as the falsehoods of the outside world are just falling away, the masks are dropping, revelations are coming. And as that happens, you're probably going to be still trying to cling on to those old ideals, but you've got to let it go. But you may feel stuck there with fear. But just remember that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. So this week, if things are changing and they feel like they're changing fast, that's okay. Allow them to change. Some things we can't control, and this is going to be a situation outside of your control. A lot of people at the moment are having quite intense dreams, and that's because people are undergoing their own awakening process. So sometimes our dreams are the quickest way for us to go undergo those changes, because sometimes we can't absorb it all in our waking life. So sometimes that is the quickest way for spirit to pass forward that information. So take real note of your dreams this week, guys. Everybody, take real note of your dreams. I've been having some fairly strange dreams for a couple of weeks, and I know a couple of my friends have had really strange dreams as well. So last week, for those of you who don't know, I get married later this year, and I dreamed that I had 2 wedding dresses. Neither of them were the wedding dress that I have picked out that's waiting there for me. I think one of them was a size 6 to 8. Well, a size 6 to 8 isn't going to fit me. I'll be lucky if I got a boob in it. So, and it was like a waterfall, I'm going to say like a waterfall dress. It had lots of layers with it. That is not my dress. And the other was a tea length blue dress with tartan on it. That was small, like a smaller size than I am, but it fit me fine. Who knows? Who knows how? But yeah, and it had like this shawl with like black feathers on attached to it. It was very strange. That wasn't my dress either. So yeah, that's just one of the dreams. Had all sorts. It's really weird, but yeah. So, Virgo. This week you Virgos have the Hermit. So, this is about you doing some real soul searching this week, guys. So this is about you finding time to draw all that energy and attention inwards. Bring it all in. I'm a big believer of can't find the answers you are looking for on the outside, out in the world, then you need to go within. So yeah, tune into what it is that you need. What do you need help with on a soul level? What do you need to help you grow, to heal? What do you need to learn to move forwards? And this is ultimately about you walking your own path. This isn't doing what Joe or Jane Blogs is doing. This is about you, what you need to do and how you need to move forward. The Hermit is very solitary. He doesn't seek the counsel of others, or even work with others. A hermit is a hermit on his own. So yeah, this is about you walking your own path. So take time to meditate, contemplate, hydrate, reevaluate what's important to you. So that's what you really need to have a good focus on this week. For a lot of people this week, a lot of the cards that are coming up are very much about, not necessarily a pause, but very much a sense of slowing down, taking things very carefully. With us being in the last quarter moon, it is a time for us to reevaluate, to balance, to focus, to rest and reset. So that is what this week is for a lot of us, because next week, as I've said, it's the new moon, so that's when we're setting new things in place. That's where we're manifesting. That is where we are setting new actions and plans in place, and where we'll be looking at really taking our dreams into action. So next we have Libra, and you have the Knight of Cups. I always see this as a very romantic card, but this for me isn't about romance. It is about creation. It is about passion. So indulge your mind this week. Think about what you're passionate about. What big ideas do you have? Bring your vision forward and take the time to really create it. You know, dream big. You know, if you can imagine it, you can have it, is, you know, what we're often told. So, spend that time setting in your mind, creating your vision, and just use that imagination. Do it all with love. And I would say that towards the end of the week, before the new moon, I would maybe look at doing a bit of crafting, vision boarding, because if you've got that vision board in place, then it's going to make it so much easier working with the next new moon, which will be in Taurus. So you'll definitely need to, I would say, have all those creative things done ahead of us changing into the Taurus season, which happens on the 19th. Taurus is very practical, very you know, this is how you do it, X, Y, Z, and you follow things to the letter usually. So you want, if you're needing things to go with the flow, I would very much be using those energies before Taurus season begins. So the next card we have is for you Scorpios. Scorpio. It's not the same as Scorpio. Oh dear. And we have the Star. So this week is going to bring a real sense of renewed hope for you Scorpios, and just feeling that you are utterly blessed by the universe. So take this time to acknowledge and connect with the magic of the universe. Just come into the flow with it. Just go with the flow. So really do start this week preparing what you want to bring into reality. Make sure with these things you're looking to manifest, particularly in your life, are in line with the authenticness of who you are, because, you know, we can all look to manifest, you know, lots of money, being successful in XYZ, in your jobs, whatever. But if that isn't in line with like who you are here, then it's a lot more difficult. You know, and success comes in many formats. Let's think about that. Be specific. Always be specific as you can when it comes to your manifesting, because what my successful would be might be, you know, mega bucks to somebody else, would be, you know, pittance to another. So, you know, really be quite focused about what you want this week. But equally go with the flow with it. I know those two messages might seem conflicting, but just go where you're guided. Go with that internal guidance system. You know, you often hear on a lot of films, you know, if you ever get lost, follow the North South, Polaris, you know, follow it. So that star is within you, you've just got to follow it. That it will be your guiding light. But you have to do what aligns with you and what's real and authentic and really matters to you as well. So yeah. Next we are moving on to our Sagittarians. And you have the Page of Swords. So this week is about you looking at a different way of looking at the world. This could bring a really big shift in the way you're thinking. You may find yourself asking more questions about life in general, about what's going on out there, and you might be trying to dig a bit deeper there. Take this time to learn, to develop, explore. Now, you know, I really want to say be curious here, like a child is. Be curious. You know, young children have no qualms about asking questions. You know, for those of us who are parents or who have brothers, sisters, we've all heard the why. You know, because kids are curious, they want to know, they want to learn. So really tap into that energy of wanting to know, of really understanding something. You may feel like you're absolutely devouring information, you're just soaking it all up. So there will be a real desire there this week to learn and explore. Capricorn. So your card is the Eight of Wands. So this week, it's going to feel like the stars are absolutely aligning for you. And in a sense, they are. With, you know, where the moon is sitting in your house. So this will be a really good time for you homing in on what's working out for you. What's working out for you, what's not. So, you know, what's hot, what's not. And what needs just a little bit of tweaking. So this is time to, you know, strike while the iron's hot, go for it. And set your focus on what it is you want. And make the most of these, like, you know, energies this week of rebalancing, reevaluating and focusing. As the, you know, the new moon is next week, so this is vital that you've got all those things in order before that new moon. So allowing, you know, your manifestation to set in place nicely, because if you've got all of it in a row, in a line, sitting there waiting, and then when the new moon hits, you can start working to manifest and set intentions in place for what you're after, then, you know, it'll happen quite quickly. So just yeah, be aware of that. Aquarius. So you Aquarians this week have the Five of Wands. A lot of fighting going on, a lot of conflict. So during this time of isolation, close quarters, you may find yourself being in direct conflict with other people. You may find yourself clashing with those you live with, or even find yourselves at odds with people on social media. Just remember, we don't always have to agree with everybody, and sometimes we just simply have to agree to disagree. Particularly with social media, we do have that great power that not a lot of people exercise. We can scroll past. Not a lot of people exercise that. If you don't like something, you don't always have to comment on it, is how I look at things. But, you know, sometimes this conflict arises from just different opinions because they clash with our worldview, our beliefs, you know, how we've been brought up, and obviously our experiences as well. And sometimes these opinions and other people's beliefs can cause waves in our own lives because it forces us maybe to reevaluate. You know, be open to other people's opinions. You don't have to take them as gospel. You don't have to take them on board. Just remember that opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So, you know, we don't always have to take them on. But it does good to hear different people's views because we get to look at life in a different way, and it helps us grow as well. There isn't just one way of looking at life, because the world would be very black and white otherwise, and that'd be quite boring, wouldn't it? If we all thought the same, if we all looked the same, if we all dressed the same, it would be boring. And I've just dropped that card on the floor. So our last card is for you Pisceans, and it is the Queen of Wands. So the Queen wants you Pisceans to use, well, for a start, she wants you to know that this is a temporary pause in life. That's exactly what it is. It's temporary. It's just a pause. It isn't a stop, it's just a pause. So use this time to reset, refocus, and look at how you can achieve your goals. You've got a lot to offer. a lot to offer. So use this time to absolutely shine bright. You know, network, connect, get to know more about people. You know, that is one of the beauties of social media, the internet and things like that. You can get to know more about other people, learn about their strengths, their passions. You might actually be quite surprised. You know, we should never judge a book by its cover. You may find other people can help you get to where you need to be. Or you might find others you can collaborate with, or you know, you might even find that relationships deepen with these people. You know, no leader can, if you're wanting to go off and lead, and good leaders know that they need a strong team around them, they need a strong circle, a strong support system around them. They don't do it all on their own. So this week, be bold, be passionate and be enthusiastic. So that is this week's Zodiac forecast, and I have cut the time down dramatically this week. I am very impressed. So I'm going to have a quick rundown of what is going on in Dreamcatcher world this week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday this week I am doing lives on Facebook. I will drop the link to my page in the comments. It'd be lovely to see you there. I'm talking about different topics, particularly about different services I'm offering currently, because I do offer quite big variety. So yeah, this week, so today I talked about Reiki, my journey, different things you can use it for. Also, I have a sister circle tomorrow. So that is set to be quite exciting. So that circle is going to be set around things like, just pulling it up now so I can have a really good look and give you the full information. So it's going to be focusing around a new cycle and rebirth. This is ahead of Beltane or May Day. Obviously it's a place where other women can come and connect as well, which is really important, particularly now I find, because obviously we are quite isolated, or at least some people are quite isolated. So yeah, I haven't got another circle until the 22nd, so that's next Wednesday. So yeah, so that's very exciting too. So yeah, my next live, which is tomorrow, that will be focused around crystal healing. And on Thursday I'm going to talk about access bars, what they are, what they can be used for, how they work. And on Friday I'll be doing a live on I'll be doing live card pulls. That's what I'll be doing on Friday, and they're all at 1 o'clock. So it'd be lovely to see you. I hope you have a lovely week and stay safe. Thank you very much.